Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight UK Season 8 episodes 17 and 18. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. A few things before I get into it. It is almost midnight and I just came back from the gym. I might be a little bit discombobulated. That's number one. Number two, it's about to get really hectic on my channel in about a week and a half. So most likely the episodes will be bulked. I'll try my best to only make it 2 at a time, like what I typically do when I fall behind. But if you're not seeing it one day, it'll probably show up the next day. All right, so starting with episode 17, we have a new couple who is getting married, and that is Adrien and Matt, who are both very outgoing and both gym rats.
I like to be fun. I like to be positive. When I was 15, my mum was diagnosed with MS. When you're 15, 16, you think that you're always right. It was agreed that I was to leave the house. Past few years, I've lost nearly 8 stone. Being called fat and ugly. My biggest concern is the fear of rejection.
I may look a little bit scary on the outside, but on the inside I really am a massive teddy bear. 4 years ago my dad unfortunately had a stroke. I decided to then take over my dad's window cleaning business. Personality wise, what I look for is fun, confident and happy individual.
Listening to Adrian's upbringing, it was so sad to hear. She came from a very tumultuous household. She basically found solace in friendships, so she doesn't really have a lot of close family ties, even though I think her mom is still around. She's just not close to her, and then she doesn't know who her father is. She also grew up a chunky girl. Shout out to the big girls. And she's lost a lot of weight recently, so she has that insecurity as well. The good thing is that Matt is also a gym rat, so they have that in common. His life is not as tumultuous, but he can resonate with the whole parent having a disability thing. They have some commonalities here and there, so it could be a good match. Back to the original couples. They debrief on the getaway that happened last week with Ella and JJ's little flirtmance going on. And I'm sorry. I know Nathaniel probably does kind of feel a way that Ella has eyes for somebody else, but you don't care that much.
I was a little bit flirty, I'm not gonna lie. It makes it look like I've done something wrong, but that's just part of me and you know that.
You gotta realize that isn't your partner. I'm your partner. There's another wife in this situation, and you've got to think about how that is to her. Ella needs to sort of start thinking about what she does, because her actions could cause a lot of issues.
I feel like he's really not that pressed, but at the end of the day, you are committed to one person in this process, so it is disrespectful. I don't think this helps Ella's case, trying to prove herself as being a mature person, because this is a very immature thing to do. As far as JJ is concerned, I think at the end of the day, cut ties with this girl. I don't know why he keeps dragging it along as if there's some kind of hope between them. It's pointless. I'm just going to fast forward quickly with this whole debacle here. Ella eventually decides to just go her own way when it comes to Nathaniel. Nathaniel decides the same. They both came to this conclusion at the family visit. Their friends came and they got to vent to their friends. And then Ella starts to text JJ on the side, unbeknownst to Nathaniel and Bianca. So now JJ's telling Bianca, oh, I just need some space. I just need to collect my head. That is very sick and disgusting. Don't do that. Back to the wedding of Matt and what's her name now? Adrien. The connection was immediate.
Fit, he's fit, tall, nice blue eyes.
Genuinely, I was speechless. She's looking absolutely stunning. I'm a athlete bodybuilder.
Oh, hello.
The minute you walked down, I was like, oh shit, yeah. Oh, that's great, that's good.
Done well.
It's a great start, yeah.
There's literally nothing bad you can say about this couple. They got on like a house on fire. They already opened up about their lifestyle, their upbringing. They're getting deep very quickly. She likes the fact that he is a bodybuilder. That's them, right? I think so. She likes the fact that he's a bodybuilder. And yeah, based on the preview, it looks like things are gonna hit the rocks just a little bit. But so far, so good. At the beginning of Family Week, the first couple who got a visit from their family and friends was Peggy and George. It's a weird one because Peggy's opening up about the different sexcapades she's heard about her husband. And I'm just like, girl, time and place.
When I said to you, oh, George, you want kids? And you went, no. No, you've only just got married, but obviously you've got, everything's moving fast anyway.
Yeah, but you've got to consummate the marriage to have kids though.
Oh, so you haven't?
You know, I've heard all about George liking women. If you want me to go into the details.
Sorry?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I learned that my husband likes women, giving and receiving, if you want to know that.
Well, no, you keep bringing it up.
I definitely feel like it was in poor taste for Peggy to put everything out there about George like that. However, the sister already had some dirt on George, so I don't really know what other redeeming things she could have said about him. I think the sister already came with an agenda to grill George, so I think he's damned if he did and damned if he didn't. And then when it came to the whole kids thing, it was funny to me how Peggy's sister was like hounding in on George, but you said you didn't want kids, and what's the timeline of having kids, and da-da-da-da. Well, to have kids naturally, there needs to be intercourse. And guess who's not wanting to have intercourse? Your sister. So I don't really know what's the point. I feel like, I feel as if there isn't an attraction to George in the way that Peggy is presenting there is. So I feel like she's holding out. And it's not even because she's holding out on sex specifically. I just get this impression. But she can't really have anything to say right now because any kind of criticism she's given to George, he has fixed. So I feel like she's just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't believe in this connection. Jay and Luke's friends, I think it was. No, I think it was her sister and his friend, something like that. They came into the experiment and the topic of distance was on the table.
The tough thing, like...
The distance.
Yeah, the distance is a big, big thing. Being away from my friends and family for this long, I am not moving. I've got no one up north. I've literally got no one.
I know, it's a big thing for both of us.
This is why I wish, even when couples are doing well, they would open up about potential insecurities in their relationships or potential roadblocks that they would face. Because when they were talking on the couch before with the experts, they were basically saying, it just feels too good to be true. Well, explain to us why. If distance is the issue, maybe the experts could have helped them, resolve some of those feelings that they have around that. It turns out, what's the guy's name? Luke is immovable in more ways than one. He's immovable on his position, on not wanting to move. Like no. And so I'm thinking to myself, I guess maybe he doesn't feel like he trusts his relationship enough to want to make that sacrifice, because they were talking about the fact that Jay is a people pleaser. She's aware of that. He has noticed that. So he's wondering if he's getting the authentic Jay. And I'm thinking, would he be more inclined to move if he felt like this was the real deal? Maybe this is what they meant, at least on his side, about this being too good to be true. She's just presenting too perfectly. Where is the real Jay, We then see the two new couples, not the two ones that just got married, but the most recent couples that got married. They have a little double date. I know we feel our way about Tasha lately. She wasn't really presenting the best in our last review. However, Erica does kind of give bad vibes, and I feel like her husband shares in those bad vibes.
They're very touchy-feely, they're very tactile, they're very loving.
We're behind, but there's plenty of time.
What about what happened yesterday? I have to bring it up.
She even did say, I'm just really flirty.
But the other thing is she does it to she's doing it to all the guys. It's her personality.
It's embarrassing. It's a bit of a joke, really.
As a girl, it's the disrespect.
Yeah, I do understand.
That's fine. I'm really, honestly, you don't want to keep thinking about it.
My opinion about how they addressed the JJ Ella flirtmance is that they should have taken either person aside. Either take JJ aside and say, hey, we feel like you should address this with your wife, or we're going to do it if you don't. Or take Bianca inside and say, babe, I don't want you to be blindsided. This is what was happening. Did you know about this? How do you feel about this? But to know that Bianca is at a stalemate when it comes to JJ and any kind of physical affection, and then to basically throw it in her face that he's so willingly, verbally affectionate at the very least, with another woman in the process, that is so sick. Like, to me, that was in poor taste. It really was in poor taste. They could have handled it better, but at least Bianca now knows. The last couple of the experiment to be matched is Mark and Shawn. They both work in fashion, but one works in fast fashion and the other works in high fashion. This is the beginning of the whole opposites attract or maybe they don't storyline that they have going on.
I can just act like a diva. I thought someone would have offered me a water by now. I just turned 20. My sister-in-law called me and she's crying. Your dad has killed himself. The only good thing out of all of this, as a family, is the one thing that brought us closer together.
I was really close to my family growing up. Weekends, I would go to footy with my dad on a Saturday. Everyone else probably knew I was gay before I did, you know what I mean? My perfect husband would be someone who, very open-minded, someone with a bit of compassion as well. The most important thing is you've got to give us a bit of a chuckle, but 100% need to have someone who's going to have his belly laughing.
Mark says that he and his family, a lot of these people have been through so many traumatic things. Mark says that he and his family were not close, in part to do with his sexual orientation, but him and his father had a contentious relationship, and one day his dad took his own life. And so after that, the family decided to, really open up the lines of communication, and they've become so much closer after the fact. He says that he needs somebody to really break those walls down and I'm trying to be nice because I know this man has been through a lot, but to me, I feel like he's looking for a caregiver. He's looking for a babysitter. He wants somebody to cook, somebody to clean, somebody to break down all his walls. He just wants somebody to do everything for him. I'm wondering, what can you give your partner in return if they're doing everything for you? I don't know. That was my personal opinion. I don't really think Shawn is the type of guy to bear all of the legwork in the relationship, but hey ho, it is what it is. At their wedding, there were so many things going wrong. First, what's his name now? Mark, not Mark. Is his name Mark? What's his name? Mark? Mark had a little meltdown because one of his buttons on his custom-made shirt was not a skull like he asked for. Okay, fast forward to the wedding, things go from bad to worse. He does not find him attractive, which is so funny to me because truly, I'm not even trying to make a joke. If you put some self-tanner and maybe get some veneers and add a little bit of weight on Shawn, that's Mark.
I can definitely say the experts have done a good one. They've definitely they've pulled it out of the bag. Just fixed on him. I can't even see anyone else at either side. I'm literally just tunnel vision, focused on him.
Initial attraction, I wanted that spark straight away. It hasn't come. Who has died? We're just starting something new and you're wearing black. I always thought to myself, I know what I want, and this is not what I wanted.
Mark is able to find more things wrong with Shawn. He feels like wearing a black suit at a wedding is like preparing for a funeral. If we're being honest, that is the more traditional thing to do than to wear a white suit. Mark, stop looking for issues. Truly, stop it. I think by the end of the episode, they did come to a common ground and they may have shared a kiss, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. Then we have Roz and Thomas who go through their family meeting, and it was really nice to see Roz actually just come out of her shell.
I'm okay with her opening up about a relationship. However, I think she's a bit too open.
We have been intimate anyway, and that's fine. So obviously it is progressing. And I'm like, what is natural? You're my husband. We do these things. My parents know. They've been there.
I don't know I don't know where this side of Roz has been hiding, but I feel like if she could have just relaxed, relate, release, for those people who used to watch A Different World, this would have gone so much smoother. This whole relationship could have gone so much smoother. In her opinion, she feels like she had to put all her feelings out there, good, bad, and ugly, just so Thomas knew exactly where she stood. And thankfully for her, it has worked out for the better. But I feel like this could have been a disaster. It really could have been a disaster. It seems like they're getting along so much better. It seems like they're happy. It seems like they see a future between them. I still am very skeptical, but honey, if you like it, I love it. A few things I forgot to note about Mark and Mark and Shawn, why did Mark lie about his age? I don't want to be rude and I don't want to be ageist, but sweetie, you're not 26. Like, I can look at you and see that you're not 26. Okay. He lied that he's 26. He's actually 36. Wow. And he says the reason why he lied about that is because he feels like he's not at the place in his life that he imagined he would be at 36. Why not just say that? Why not just say that? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like he had a lot to say about Shawn and his lifestyle, but when you look at Mark, there are a lot of issues there. The man doesn't cook for himself. The man doesn't clean for himself. The man might have issues with emotional vulnerability or just vulnerable, whatever. And he's judgy. He judged Shawn on the suit. He judged Shawn on his looks. He judged Shawn on his occupation. Like you got a lot of things to work out for yourself, Mark. So before you look at somebody else, look within. All right. It'll be interesting to see where that couple goes. Maybe this is Nathaniel's chance to have something else to look at. I don't know. I doubt it, but you never know. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.